Now, this is one of those things where it's a very sort of Marmite thing. Some people say yes, some people say no. Some people are like, it's just a load of rubbish. It's just going through a cable. It's not going to change the sound. But in my personal experience, which is all I can give you, is it has changed the sound when I've used a different cable. And what we're talking about here, just so that we can get the context of what I'm saying, is that when I'm changing things in my room, I'm at the point where I'm at very little tweaks that add up to a bigger thing. So if you look at it as in, say, Formula One, where all the cars are fast, they're all fast to a certain place and they've all got the fastest drivers in the world, but they're just trying to find those little things that are going to get them that extra tenth of a second, that extra blink of an eye, basically. And it's going to make the difference in their race, because that over every lap is going to end up in seconds at the end, and that's the difference between a win and a loss. So that's the same for me. I'm basically trying to find every tiny little thing that's just going to be the next upgrade, the next upgrade. And these things are things that if you're in a room where you can't hear what's going on, if you don't have your room set up correctly, if you don't have your speakers set up correctly, if you don't know how to listen, if you haven't tuned your ears properly and know what to listen for and how to listen and at what levels to listen to, all those things that I know and have learned over the years. Now, my palate is obviously really tuned up. So when I hear something that's a slight difference, I'm not trying to say I'm God or anything, but I'm just used to it. I do it every day, 10 hours a day for 20 years. So I'm used to hearing things. I'm used to my room. So when I hear a slight change, I can hear a slight change because I've played a lot of music in this room. I know what it sounds like. I know what to listen for. So even if I'm in a different room, I can pick things up a lot quicker than a lot of people can. So it's really what I'm looking for, not the quality of my ear, but really the quality of like, okay, I can hear that slight difference. That sounds brighter to me, or that sounds warmer, or that sounds thinner, or it sounds thicker. It's like that kind of thing that I can hear. And that's the sort of thing I can hear with cables. It's the sort of things I can hear with mains cables, which people think I'm absolutely mental about because they're like, it's a kettle lead, for example, and it's not going to make any difference to the sound, but it does. But it's minute. It's a very minute detail. So then people will say, well, what's the point of that? I can just EQ out that minute detail. But I don't want to EQ it out. I just don't want to do that. I want to keep things as clean and as less processed as possible. I want something to come in my room. I want to be able to hear it for exactly what it is. And if it means that if it's going through my analog chain and it means I can have some short cables on that are high quality, that make a difference to the sound because I've A/B blind tested the difference to that sound, then I'm happy with that as a chain. And also one thing that does is a confidence builder. So as you've listened to this stuff in your room and as you've changed stuff and as you've heard the difference between the two things, it builds your confidence in your room, in yourself. And so then you're able to work better and know when you make a move on a track, it's for the right reasons. And then when you A/B it, you can go, yeah, I like that. It sounds better to my ear, and have that confidence to know it's better. So when it goes out into the world where everybody's listening, it's going to sound better. So that's why cables do sound different. They sound better. Some sound worse. Van Dam sounds a little bit harder and brighter compared to my LAT cables. And then there's a burn-in time. So if once you've had the cables in for a while, then they sort of settle down and then you get a different sound from that. It's the same with speakers when the cones are moved a bit and everything's had a little bit more of a sort of loosen up and it's had some power through it. So that's kind of my thoughts on it. That's my experience on it. It does make a difference. I don't care if someone says it doesn't make a difference. I've had this with manufacturers as well who have told me, well, just use these cables on it because it's fine. They don't, there's no difference. It's snake oil, as they like to say. And it's like, well, it's not, because I've done it and I know the difference and I can hear a difference. If I can hear a difference, then for me personally, that's a good thing for me to now use this thing that's better. So all these little small things, don't write them off. Check it out yourself. If you don't hear a difference, don't change it. If you hear a difference and it's better or you prefer it, change the cables to what you prefer. If you don't want to get into this, don't bother. It's your choice. I'm not forcing you into any of this. I'm not trying to say that my ideas are the best. I'm just saying what works for me. I listen to cables. I think they sound better. I think you should too. Get some good cables, listen to them against your old cables, blind test them, and then see what you think. And I'd love to know in the comments what you think. If you've tried any cables out that you found, they might not be the most expensive, but they might just be ones that work really well in your system. So I'd love to hear that from you in the comments. And also, I know this is such one of those subjects that everybody likes to have their 2 pence on. So please let me know your 2 pence. I'm interested, or 2 cents, wherever you are in the world. Yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you get something out of that. I hope you change your cables. I hope you check it out. And don't listen to anyone else. Use your own ears and make your own decisions, because you're the engineer and it's your name that's going on a track and it's your music. And you've got to listen to that music forever. So just try and make it sound the best you possibly can. Until next time, I'm Streaky. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.